There is one line in The Walking Dead Dead City that they should never, ever, ever cross. And I heard some probably fake rumors out there that they might just cross that line. Ladies and gentlemen, I saw some meme Twitter post the other day that had me thinking, and then it had my whole grinding of gears going as to Maggie and Negan possibly hooking up in Dead City Season 2. And look, I know it's probably just a joke, but I wanted to address that in this video and say if they do that, it will be on the same lines as something like them bringing Troy Otto back from the dead, except even worse. Because at least with Troy Otto coming back from the dead, you can suspend a little bit of disbelief and have fun with it. But if it were something like Maggie and Negan hooking up, and you know what I mean? That's just fundamentally wrong, on so many fronts, to the point where I just had to make a video about this because I've seen rumblings forever online about the possibility of them two getting together. And yes, it is extremely taboo, and it's something that I guess to some extent would be a little entertaining because of the what the fuck factor of it. But in the other way, what the fuck? If they actually did this, there would be serious problems. I mean, already, look, I understand why people feel that way. Before I get into anything else, I understand why people feel a certain way about that. It's because the two of them, Lauren Cohan and Jeffrey Dean Morgan in general, have phenomenal chemistry, and their characters do as well. Negan and Maggie, even though they're a duo that shouldn't work together, they really do, and they pair so well together. So people online have always shipped that over the years, and it became a thing. So I could see on one front people seeing it a little bit, but if the writers actually did this, it would completely ruin everything. And yes, I guess technically speaking, because we're out of the main show, whatever they do in Dead City doesn't really matter. It's one of those things you could kind of write off. But if you're building a greater story like they've been in The Walking Dead, where you have Scott Bimple talking all the time about how they're connecting a bigger world and they're telling more stories in the universe and it's a generational story. If they did this, that would be just so fucking wrong. It would be along the same lines of things like Carl. It would be on the same lines of really every bad decision that they've ever made, I should say, from the cliffhanger to anything of that sort. It's just wrong. It's you can't put ketchup on an omelet. It's just wrong. You know what I mean? It's that sort of thing. You can't do it. But I saw something else online that they apparently saw a leaked photo set of them kissing or something. And the only thing, when I say they, I mean Maggie and Negan. And the only way I could see something like that working is if it was a flash, or not a flashback, like a dream sequence or something like that. That would be the only way that I think they could get away with giving some sort of fan service, even though it's definitely not fan service, but giving some acknowledgement to the fact that a lot of people see that, but then both of them being oh God, you know what I mean? That's the only way to do it. But if that's true, and if what we heard is actually the reality, and that there is some sort of romance thing between them on the show, which again, I think this was just a shit post, but if that was true, I'm done. I'm really done watching Dead City. I can't do that. It would be a little entertaining to see what happens and why that happened and all of that stuff, but it's just so fundamentally wrong. I don't really know what else to say about it, but if they do that, you can expect a fucking hailstorm of a video from me about how that is just not right. How could Maggie, if that was the case, look at Negan in the eyes and do something like that without thinking of Glenn? Okay, I just had to make this quick video and get it out of my system, because if that's actually the case, we are going to have real problems. Some of the biggest problems we've had in The Walking Dead ever, up with Carl, up with Troy, up with all of Season 8 of Fear the Walking Dead, up with, Blair and Gina. The list goes on and on. That would be one of them. I really hope they keep the momentum strong with Dead City, because the first season, and I know for some reason that show is the show that people hate on out of the spinoffs, but let's face the facts, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't the best spin-off. I definitely don't think it was, but I had fun with it. I still enjoyed it. I liked the story, and I liked what we could possibly see in the future with that story. I think there's a lot of potential there, but they shouldn't be ruining it with something like this. And I really don't think they're going to. I genuinely don't. The writers of this show are people that had passion in Negan overall, and you can't have passion in Negan and think in any way, shape, or form that Maggie and Negan hooking up would make any form of sense. I don't believe this to be real. I think this is just a joke. I think this is some people trolling or just spreading rumors to spread rumors. I mean, I know after The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live, they got to do a lot to like get people talking about the show. I completely understand that, but if they actually do that, that's a real problem. So we will definitely be back for reviews of Dead City overall. I'll be doing them episodically. And if that happens in the show, you bet your sweet bippy there will be a video all about that, me freaking out because, oh God, that's a real problem. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Do you think that should happen? If you do, I'd love to hear your justification on it. It's going to be like one of those things like that Abraham Lincoln meme of him like standing up in front of everyone. Like, you know what I mean? If that is Abraham Lincoln, I don't know. It looks like him. Whatever. It's going to be like something like that. You know what I mean? But good luck. Let's keep it respectful down there, but I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, goodbye.